So I watched Captain America Brave New World this past weekend, and one thing is abundantly clear. Marvel has failed to prepare audiences for who will take up the mantle for their core Avengers. Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Hulk were the heart of the MCU, but now their replacements feel like an afterthought. In the movie, when Sam Wilson and Thaddeus Ross were talking about restarting the Avengers, I was like, wait, who could actually be on this team? Kate Bishop? Miss Marvel? Is Captain Marvel even still around? I didn't watch the Marvels, so I have no idea what happened to her. And wait, is this a Hulk sequel or a Captain America sequel? Could She-Hulk be an Avenger? So hypothetically, let's lay out our next generation of Earth's mightiest heroes. It would be Kate Bishop, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, She-Hulk, maybe Ironheart, and maybe Sam Wilson, and maybe Bucky? Does that excite you? Do you care? Are you going to be watching the Thunderbolts? Based on the Brave New World's box office numbers, I bet you don't. And to be fair, Marvel did introduce a young Spider-Man early on in the MCU, but even his future is unclear after the events of No Way Home. So this moment of confusion is what inspired this video. Marvel has dropped the ball on replacing legacy heroes. That is where DC can do better. So if I were in charge of the DCU, my first priority would be introducing the Teen Titans as early as possible. I know James Gunn and Peter Safran have like a 5 to 8 year plan, but if that plan does not include building DC's next generation of superheroes early, they're making the same mistake as Marvel. And I know what you're thinking. Well, if you're so smart, how would you do it? Well, I'm glad you asked. There's a 3-issue miniseries that was released in 2022 called Robin and Batman, written by Jeff Lemire and illustrated by the great Dustin Nguyen. It's one of the best modern takes on how Dick Grayson became the first Robin, and I think it provides the perfect blueprint for how to introduce the Bat family and by extension the Teen Titans into the DCU. So sit back, relax, and enjoy my pitch for introducing the Teen Titans. First, we open with a narration from Dick Grayson's journal entry. I think I was wrong about everything, about who I am, about who I could be. I thought this would be a dream come true, a fantasy. I mean, there are monsters, there's even a knight. I thought it would be like a quest or a hero's journey, but maybe this was all a trick. I'm starting to worry that this isn't a fantasy at all. Instead, I found my way into a nightmare. I see now that there is real darkness here, and it's not some make-believe darkness, it's real and it's ugly, and that darkness has weight. And now it feels like it's starting to pull me down with it, and the deeper I fall, the harder it is to see my way out. And the worst part is that I don't know if I even want to get out anymore. Maybe it's better down here. Maybe this is all I deserve. Dick is already training as Robin, and we see his dynamic with Batman in action. During a meat truck heist, Robin insists that he has things under control, while Batman urges him to see the bigger picture. When the situation escalates, Batman steps in, finishing the mission for himself. On the ride home, his face is unreadable, maybe disappointment, maybe restrained anger. When Robin tries to explain, Batman cuts him off with a single word: don't. Back at the Batcave, Batman grounds him, no more live operations. Robin storms off frustrated, Alfred watches, and when Batman warns him not to say anything, Alfred responds knowingly, "You think he acts like a child because he is a child." Batman rejects the idea that child died with his parents. He believes survival requires emotional armor, and softness will get Robin killed. But Alfred sees what Bruce doesn't. This is a grieving child following the same maladaptive path as his adoptive father. The next day at school, Dick hopes Bruce will pick him up, a sign they'll patrol together. But when Alfred arrives instead, Dick's mood sinks. It gets even worse when Alfred tells him Bruce had his Robin suit thrown away. Furious, Dick storms off and creates his own suit. Bright red and yellow in direct defiance of Batman's brooding aesthetic. That night, Batman tracks the meat truck thieves, discovering they weren't just stealing meat, they were stealing food. But for who? He follows them into the sewers, unaware that Robin is tailing him, but before Robin can catch up, Robin hears a splash behind him and turns to face Waylon Jones, Killer Croc. Robin tries to fight but is overpowered. Batman intervenes, but not before taking a few broken ribs in the process. He blinds Croc with mace and they barely escape. Back at the cave, Batman scolds Alfred, not just for letting Robin sneak out, but for letting him wear bright red. Robin pushes back. "It's the color of my family's leotard, the Flying Graysons." Batman replies, "I know, that's why I made you this." He unveils a new Robin suit in the same colors. For a moment, Robin is stunned, until he realizes that means Batman has been reading his journal. What Batman saw as a thoughtful gesture, Robin sees as a breach of trust. We pick up with Waylon Jones as he wades through an abandoned circus, where he stumbles into the old freak show exhibit. He sees an empty tank and next to it a sign, the Killer Croc. Also nearby is a poster for the Flying Graysons. Out of frustration, he rips the rotting poster off the wall. In his mind, he flashes back to being confined here, watching the Flying Graysons soar above him as a happy, loving family. Cut 2. Killer Croc emerging from a manhole at an undisclosed location. He enters a dimly lit room illuminated only by the glow of computer screens. He tosses the Flying Grayson poster onto the desk. Killer Croc says to the calculator, "Tell me what happened to the boy." The calculator, "You're not giving me much to work with, Croc." But he gets to work, fingers clacking on the keyboard. Grayson was their real surname, Richard Grayson. He actually turns 12 tomorrow. And the boy was adopted last winter, couldn't access the records. If I couldn't, well, someone powerful must not want me to. Where do I find him? Easy. All kids got to go to school, right? Grayson's at Gotham Academy. Feel like going back to school? We cut to Dick and Bruce sitting at the dining room table eating breakfast. Alfred approaches, mentioning that he managed to get all of the blood out of the Robin suit and hopes Dick's school clothes won't be as difficult to clean. This startles Dick. He's forgotten what day it is. When he insists on skipping school to track down Killer Croc, Alfred firmly reminds him that school and homework come first. He turns to Bruce for support, and though Bruce initially allows it, Alfred stands his ground, emphasizing the need for some sense of normalcy in their lives. After a moment, Bruce concedes. Croc hasn't been seen in weeks, so the mission can wait. Cut to Gotham Academy. Dick's going through the motions, class, gym, class, lunch, class. Then a loud screech echoes through the intercom, followed by a gravelly voice. It's Killer Croc. "Hello, little Robin. You will show yourself and nobody will be hurt." As panic spreads through the school, Dick springs into action. He shouts, "Bomb!" to create a distraction, pulls a scarf from his backpack to conceal his face, and heads straight for the principal's office. The confrontation mirrors the first fight with Killer Croc. Robin gets roughed up pretty badly. Just as before, Batman crashes through a window to intervene, only to take another devastating blow to the rib that crumples him. Croc seizes the incapacitated Batman, turning to Robin with a cruel promise. "You're going to watch him fall, just like you watched your parents." Desperate, Dick rushes back to Wayne Manor. He grabs his Robin suit ready to face Croc. Alfred pleads with him. "Call the League, call the police, you can do this alone." But Dick is resolute. This is how it has to be. This is what Robin is. The unspoken truth hangs between them. Alfred and Bruce have had this exact conversation before. Robin arrives at the abandoned circus to find Batman bound upside down in the Killer Croc exhibit, water slowly filling the tank. The final battle erupts. Robin fights like never before. The defining moment arrives, his triumphant declaration, "I am Robin." He defeats Killer Croc and rescues Batman. Everybody goes home alive. Epilogue. The scene shifts to Wayne Manor. Bruce and Dick sit in the Batcave, bandaged up, sharing breakfast in silence. Then Batman breaks in. "Get dressed. I have a birthday present for you." Robin, confused, asks, "What do you mean? What is it?" Batman simply replies, "I'll explain on the way up." Cut to a wide shot of the Justice League Watchtower. Batman and Robin step out of a teleporter and enter a grand conference room where the entire Justice League is waiting. Wonder Woman steps forward, placing a hand on Robin's shoulder before ushering him into another room. The grown-ups have a mission briefing. "Come with me." The camera follows Robin through a pair of sliding doors, and inside he sees a kid in a bright yellow suit playing ping pong with himself. A red-haired boy gives a casual nod. "Yo, what's up?" Another kid, visibly bored, stretches and mutters, "I'm going for a swim." Finally, a girl in a red shirt with a gold eagle crest beams at him. "Hi, I'm Donna." She extends a hand toward him. Cut to black. Text on the screen. Teen Titans will return. 2020 whatever. And this is it. This is how you set up the Teen Titans. I think this is such a freaking amazing way of establishing your second team. This could also serve as a pitch for the sequel to whatever Batman movie they end up establishing. So, the first one can be his true origin story or whatever they want to do, but I do think the second or part of Batman's original trilogy or whatever they try to set up should have something to do with a young Dick Grayson in it, period. That's just my opinion, because I think this way we can start to introduce the second gen of characters so early on to our phases. That way when our Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman naturally age out, like the characters that play them naturally age out of that role from playing it for 10 years, like, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. I just think there's so much that you can do. There's so much content in the Bat family alone. But these three comics is where this source material comes from. Just Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen did a fantastic job, and honestly, I would read If these two paired up again, I would read probably whatever they wrote if it had to do with the Bat family or a Teen Titans book. But yeah, I would say this does have a trade paperback that has been released since, but I wouldn't say go buy this from Amazon. Go to your local comic book store and see if they have it available first. Second or third printings of these issues at your local comic book store if you can find the trade paperback, or they would love to see you and they would love to talk to you about comics and what you're interested in. So yeah, that is my pitch for how to introduce Dick Grayson into the Bat family, and then how to introduce the Teen Titans into the overall DCU. Let me know what you think. I'm genuinely curious what you think. And give this video a like if you liked it. I wasn't able to put out a video last week because I was working on this script all week. And I typically try and record on like Sundays or Mondays. So hopefully this gets posted on Monday. And if you really like it, I have some other cool ideas that I'd love to see in the DCU. This next idea involves Superman, so yeah, that's like my pitch for like a pseudo Batman sequel / Teen Titans stinger. Thanks for watching. I seriously appreciate it. What are some things that you would like to see in the DCU? Is it Superman? Is it John Kent? Like, do you just are you in it for the ride and you're just kind of seeing what they'll do? Is it Lobo? I mean, come on, that sounds pretty cool. Jason Momoa as Lobo. That's like the only person who should ever play that character. But yeah, let me know what you want to see in the DCU and give this a like if you like it, so I know that you'd like more of this content. So yeah, see ya.